apparently called Shema in 1 Chronicles 8. 13. They're identified as a family head in Ajalon. 6. A Simeonite, the son of Zakur. He had 16 sons and 6 daughters. 1 Ch 4. 24-27. 7. One of David's brothers. 2 Sa 21. 21. See Shammah no. 2. 8. A descendant of Gershon through Ladan. During David's reign, 3 sons or descendants of Shimei were heads of Levite families. 1 Ch 23. 8, 9. 9. Head of the 10th division of Levite musicians. Son of Jeduthun. 1 Ch 25. 1, 3, 17. 10. Caretaker of David's vineyards. Aramatite. 1 Ch 27. 27. 11. A loyal supporter of King David who refused to join Adonijah's conspiracy. 1 Chi 1. 8. He is presumably the same Shimei appointed as King Solomon's food deputy in Benjamin's territory. Son of Elah. 1 Chi 4. 7, 18. 12. A Benjamite from the village of Bahurim. Shimei, the son of Gera, of a family in King Saul's house, harbored a grudge against David for years after Saul's death and the removal of the kingship from his house. Shimei found an occasion to vent his long-contained wrath when David and his party fled from Jerusalem on account of Absalom's rebellion. Just a little near the Mount of Olives, Shimei walked along throwing stones and dust down at them and cursing David. Abishai asked David's permission to kill Shimei, but David refused, hoping that perhaps Jehovah would turn Shimei's curse into a blessing. 2 Sa 16. 5-13. On David's return, with the situation reversed, Shimei and 1,000 other Benjamites were the first to meet him, Shimei bowing before him and making expression of repentance for his sins. Again Abishai wanted to kill him, but again David did not allow a text to execute Mirika Longo. Shimronites 931 leave the city. If he ever left the city, he would be put to death. Shimei agreed to these terms, but 3 years later he left the city to recover 2 of his slaves who had fled to Gath. On learning of this violation, Solomon called Shimei to account for breaking his oath to Jehovah and ordered Benaiah to execute him. 1 Chi 2. 36-46. 13. A Levite descendant of Heman who sanctified himself and helped dispose of the unclean objects removed from the temple at the beginning of Hezekiah's reign. 2 Ch 29. 12, 14-16 probably the same as no. 14. 14. The Levite second in charge of storing the generous contributions and tithes brought to the temple during Hezekiah's reign. 2 Ch 31. 11-13 probably identical with no. 13. 15. Ancestor of Mordecai. Tribe of Benjamin. As 2. 5. 16. Brother of Governor Zerubbabel. Descendant of David in the tribe of Judah. 1 Ch 3. 19. 17. One of the Levites who dismissed their foreign wives and sons when reprimanded by Ezra for having made foreign marriage alliances. As 10. 10, 11, 23, 44. 18, 19. 2 Israelites, sons of Hashum and Binwi respectively, who also sent away their foreign wives and sons. As 10. 33, 38, 44. Shemites Shimei Middledodites of belonging to Shimei. Descendants of Shimei, the son of Gershon and the grandson of Levi. X 6. 16, 17 When the first census in the wilderness was taken, the Shemites and the Libnites, the families of the Gershonites, had registered ones totaling 7,500. U 3. 20b-22 The Shemites were encamped with the Libnites behind the tabernacle, that is, to the W as Gershonites. Their Levitical duties included transporting, erecting, and maintaining the tabernacle and its coverings, as well as the hangings of the courtyard, the screens both to the entrance of the courtyard and to the tent, and the tent cords. X 26. 1, 7, 14, 36. 27. 9, 16. New 3. 23-26. Shimei had 4 sons. Jashath, Zena, Jeush, and Beri. But since the last 2 did not have many sons, they joined together to become a paternal house for one official class. This is mentioned in the time of David, when it appears that the assigned tabernacle service of the Shemites was divided among these 3 families. 1 Ch 23. 6, 7, 10, 11 Zechariah's prophecy especially included the family of the Shemites among those who wailed bitterly over the one whom they pierced, a prophecy relating to Jesus. Zech 12. 10-13. Joe 19. 37. Shimei and Shimei middle dot on from a root meaning here. Listen. One of the 8 sons of Harim whom Ezra encouraged to dismiss their pagan wives and sons. Ez 10. 10, 11, 31, 32, 44. Shimon Shemunday. Father of 4 sons in the tribe of Judah. 1 Ch 4. 20. Shimrath from a root meaning guard. A Benjamite family head in Jerusalem. One of the 9 sons of Shimei. 1 Ch 8. 19-21, 28. Shimri from a root that means guard. 1. Simeonite ancestor of one of the chieftains who expanded the tribe's territory in the days of Hezekiah. 1 Ch 4. 24, 37-41. 2. Father of David's mighty man Jediael, and probably also of Joah his brother the Tizite. 1 Ch 11. 26, 45. 3. Amra right son of Hosor included among the Levite gatekeepers selected by lot to the assignment W of the sanctuary. Though Shimri was not Hosor's firstborn, his father appointed him head of the paternal house. 1 Ch 26. 10, 12, 13, 16. 4. One of the Levites who helped dispose of the unclean objects that Hezekiah had cleared out of the temple. Descendant of Elizaphan. 2 Ch 29. 12-16. Shimriath. A Moabitess whose son Jehozabad was one of the assassins of King Jehoash of Judah. 2 Ch 24. 25, 26. The name appears in the masculine gender at 2 Kings 12. 21. See Shomino. 2. Shimron. 1. Thornbush. A son of Issachar. Ge 46. 13. 1 Ch 7. When he was among Israel's sons who came into Egypt. His descendants, the Shimronites, formed one of the families of Issachar. Ge 46. 8. New 26. 23, 24. 2. From the root meaning Gardo text to acute Miritra longo, Shimra Miron 932 Shimra Miron Shimron Miron. A town, the domain of a king defeated by Joshua. Jos 12. 7, 8, 20. It is perhaps the full name of the town Shimron, or possibly it is a reference to the fact that the king of Shimron was one of those defeated at the waters of Merom. Jos 11. 1, 5, 7, 8. Some manuscripts separate the names as being 2 towns, Shimron and Meron, but no place called Meron is elsewhere alluded to. Shimshai from a root meaning son. A scribe in the administration of Reum, the chief government official of the Persian province beyond the river, which included Jerusalem. Shimshai joins in writing a letter to the Persian ruler Artaxerxes in an effort to stop the Jews from their rebuilding work in Jerusalem. Artaxerxes put through an order to stop the work, which was resumed during the reign of his successor, King Darius Arsi of Persia. As 4. 8-24. Shin. See Sin, Shin. Shinab from Akkadion, meaning Sin the moon god is his father. King of Admah. One of 5 monarchs in the southern Dead Sea area whose rebellion against vassalage to Chedorlaomer was unsuccessful. Ge 14. 1-10. Shina. The original name of the area between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers later called Babylonia. It was there that Nimrod assumed kingship over Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Karnak, and where construction of the Temple Tower of Babel was aborted. GE 10. 9, 10. 11. 2-8 later, the king of Shinar, Amraphel, was one of the confederates who took Abraham's nephew Lot captive. GE 14. 1, 9, 12. This territory was still called by its original name in the days of Joshua. Job 7. 21. It is referred to by the prophets Isaiah, Daniel, and Zechariah. Issar 11. 11. Dar 1. 2. Zech 5. 11. See Babel. Babylon no. 2. Shining 1. A descriptive designation applied to the king of Babylon. Issar 14. 4, 12. The Hebrew expression thus translated NW, ig comes from a root meaning shine. Job 29. 3. The rendering Lucifer KJ, da is derived from the Latin Vulgate. The shining one is represented as saying in his heart, above the stars of God I shall lift up my throne, and I shall sit down upon the mountain of meeting. Issar 14. 13. Biblical evidence points to Mount Zion as the mountain of meeting. See mountain of meeting. Hence, since stars can refer to kings new 24. 17. Re 22. 16. The stars of God must be the kings of the Davidic line who ruled from Mount Zion. The king of Babylon, the dynasty of Babylonian kings, reflecting the attitude of Satan, the god of this system of things, indicated his ambition to lift up his throne above the stars of God by desiring to make the kings of the line of David mere vassals, and then finally to dethrone them. Like stars that shed light, the king of Babylon shone brightly in the ancient world and could be termed Shining One. Shinshion from a root meaning crash in ruins. A city of Issachar. Job 19. 17.